Nau mai, haere mai. Welcome to 3 News. New figures out today show just under 30,000 New Zealanders left for Australia last year. It's the highest annual outflow in more than a decade. Acting Prime Minister David Seymour acknowledges it's not a good sign for the country, but says he believes there are better days to come as the economy recovers from recession. Political correspondent Zane Small reports.
Famed for its golden beaches and top surf spots, the Gold Coast is where Kiwis Danielle and Gary McKenzie have lived for more than a decade. And it's where their son Travis calls home.
Whoa!
We've got really good beaches and the weather is just so nice.
But the Queensland sunshine wasn't the only drawcard. Danielle works in purchasing in an office role. She says the pay in Australia is superior.
The wages were just so much better. I know people that have moved over and doubled their wage with a very similar job, so that speaks for itself.
New migration figures out today speak for themselves too.
Statistics New Zealand reports a net migration loss of 30,000 Kiwis to Australia in the year to December 2024. That's the biggest annual outflow since 2012, when 43,700 people made the move.
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise the union representing nurses either, because they're being lured in their thousands across the ditch with better pay and conditions.
The last data we could get hold of was 23-24, and there was just under 12,000 nurses, according to what we were told by the Australian authorities. And we've little reason to believe that that's got any better, and as conditions here continue to get worse, we'll see a lot more going.
It's always a bad sign to be losing people. However, New Zealand is a net gainer of people over the same period, with 14,800 net migration inwards from the rest of the world.
But Trade Me has observed a decline in median weekly rents, particularly in Wellington, where renters are paying around $50 less per week when compared to a year ago. And the exodus of Kiwis in the capital to Australia could help to explain it.
We've seen demand for rental properties fall over the past 12 months, and it's possible that Kiwi choosing to move abroad is one of the factors.
We are going through a difficult period. Yes, incomes in New Zealand are lower than they are in Australia, and that partly reflects things like much lower productivity relative to Australia and other countries as well. The cost of living here is a real issue.
There is a big and significant difference in wages, not just for nurses, but right across the economy.
The government is banking on better times to come as mortgage holders roll onto lower interest rates.
I expect that as time goes on, as we maintain really careful spending as a government, as interest rates come down, rents get lower, mortgage rates are coming down, there's a lot more reasons for people to stay in New Zealand.
But for now, Australia just keeps luring Kiwis across the ditch.
And Zane, we'll find out tomorrow if nurses will strike over pay.
That's right. As you heard in my story, the Nurses Union is not convinced that conditions are getting better for nurses here. There are 36,000 public hospital nurses that are part of the union, and this week they've been voting on whether to strike over Health New Zealand's latest offer, as it appears negotiations have failed to reach an agreement. The biggest concern, I'm told, is safe staffing issues, and union members are voting on whether to strike for 12 hours on the 30th of July. Voting closes at midday tomorrow.